Hey, what's up, guys? Paul from Paulskarts. Got a couple pieces here that I thought were cool. Figured I would just take a second to talk about what I thought was cool about them. Obviously, since I've been, starting to do the O-rings and the heads and stuff like that lately, we got a 3-inch bore block. This is the 3-inch bore sleeve installed LA sleeve. Still what I think is the best sleeve on the market. And then we got the head with the O-ring in it. Now, as far as like sealing these things up, we've changed cam timing, stuff like that. I've always usually recommended running like the fiber firing head gasket that has that firing because it puts all that pressure into that one point. What I've actually been doing is a combination of leaving the sleeve extended 10 thousandths and doing the O-ring, so it's this when you put and using the copper head gasket with that setup. So when you put the copper head gasket on, that 10 thousandths press will be on the bottom and be like a Lego piece pressed into the gasket. It'll basically, when you take the gasket back off, you'll see that ring from where the sleeve is now pressed into the gasket, kind of like locking it. But the thing is, that only locks the bottom. The front or the top of that gasket is still has no lock, basically. Has nothing as like a, where the air would have to hit something and go around it to get past it. This still has, even with perfect pressure applied everywhere, still has, areas that the gases can escape that cylinder pressure. So when we take and we do the O-ring, now we've done the O-ring just on the outside of that sleeve. So the O-ring is going to lock the top of the gasket. It's gonna, if you then took this head off, you would see that O-ring into that gasket. So you would have the locked top and the locked bottom. That kind of works best with the copper head gasket. And, this is something that I'm still just trying. We're just, the potential is here. So I'm going to send it out, set up this way. I think there's real potential here. But, if in fact we were having problems, we would just change it. Can easily just cut that sleeve back to flush by just milling it, and then just run the O-ring, or run the O-ring with, like, say, the fiber firing. So this is just something new I'm trying. I think it has real potential. So that's we've actually been leaving that as an option on the website since we've had the blocks where you could leave that sleeve extended, just as to create that pressure point. And now with being able to O-ring the heads, so this one actually came out really nice. I notice a lot of people that do the O-rings, they always put the brake like here, which I don't know why. I you can't even see where the brake is on this thing. It's done so well. But it's actually over here. You can see it if I point it out to you. But I file the end of that and I fit it just as if it's like a piston ring. Make sure the ends are square and file that nice. But whenever you see the head gaskets blown, they're always blown on here or on the spark plug side at the top. That's where they'll blow, or on the exhaust side. They never blow on this side, so I figure if you're going to put the gap anywhere, put it over there. But this is going to be the head. This is built for this build. This has the billet, stroker, balanced crank, Wiseco, piston, all the best stuff, PK, RPM 3 cam. Actually, I'm going to be installing the adjustable timing bracket on this block for the customer, and I figured I would make a video for that as well. I saw one guy on YouTube saying, "Oh, the bracket's backwards, I have to cut it to pieces." And I had to just message the guy and be like, "Man, you actually made it so it only can retard your timing." But everybody, you actually have to rotate the flywheel counterclockwise and able to advance the timing. If you rotate the coil clockwise, you're going to retard the timing. So the bracket allows the coil to drop down, which if the engine's rotating this way, it'll come sooner in contact to the coil, not later. If you move the coil this way, further up, the coil actually the bracket allows the coil to drop down this way, and that's how you advance it. If you move the coil up this way, that's going to take, if there's a magnet, and you just picture it, if you want to happen the spark sooner, it has to be, because if magnet's spinning this way, you move the coil this way, it takes longer for the magnet to get there. So, yeah, definitely don't take the brackets apart and cut them up and disassemble them and grind on them and all that stuff. It's not helping anything. There have been some actually modifications to that bracket where now we're sending it out with the all metal. We used to have what were they? Printed. What's that? Where you can print them yourself. They used to be printed like nylon type plastic material spacers, because the price for having those spacers made in billet was like $4 per spacer, and each thing needs 2 spacers, and the price just for those little spacers just was crazy. But we ended up going the distance, and now I had to buy so many of those spacers. I'll probably have them for 100 years. Probably never gonna sell out of them, because they don't sell too many. But those coils, adjustment brackets, now are like flawless. This is like 4th rendition. The first ones were kind of thin, made the second one a little bit thicker, and then the 3rd rendition was just all metal. I knew that it was just a price point. I had to get it at a certain price point. Just the cost of machining and prototyping and everything all at once. Just get clobbered over the head with it. So, yeah, we were trying to save, $8 per part, but it ended up sucking. So we just went with the billet spacers. So, yeah, that's going to get the adjustable coil bracket, the hot coil, 3-inch. It's good to have the gas carb. I'm going to try to talk them into methanol. The methanol is much better, especially on 3-inch strokers. I mean, that's a lot of compression ratio. It's got so much compression ratio that you're trying to manage the compression ratio, and gas is not really the best fuel for that. Granted, it would have to be on race fuel, yada, yada, yada. You would have to make sure it's not knocking. You'd have to find out what octane you need to run. But if you're going to run gas, you would definitely want to just kind of Google. If you're trying to find methanol in your area, if there's any racetracks around there, you could try calling them. Some of them have pumps of methanol on the site, on site at the track. Another way is call VP Fuels and ask them if there's any dealers in your neighborhood. Sometimes, I'm a dealer, you could be close to, a machine shop or something, a race shop that's a dealer, and they get pallets of the stuff in and they put in orders, and they are definitely going to have methanol in stock. So check that out. But yeah, really excited about the O-ring stuff and the potential this gives us. Just one more thing to play with, one more thing to really bottle things up and take it that next step. Always looking to get that edge in racing, whether it's able to bottle up a little bit more compression ratio. If we can keep this bottled up and now be able to run the PK RPM3 cam bottled up, that's going to be the ultimate setup. The Gorilla Cam has a purpose. If you cannot bottle up your 3-inch stroker, those valve timing events, everything like that, were moved later and later to move the power up and that's all related to cylinder pressure. So that's all. It's all been pushed up. Makes a little bit more horsepower. Makes a little bit, but everything is moved up. If you can run the PK RPM3 cam bottled up, I mean, it's going to have tons of cylinder pressure. It won't, these small blocks, can turn incredible amounts of RPM. So you don't really need to push them that high. Like, When I get guys telling me they're turning the PK RPM 3 cam 11,000 plus RPMs, and I'm like, man, we got to make a billet cam. So we made the billet PK RPM 3 cam in billet, just because we didn't want to have anybody lose a decompression release or something like that, and have the engine, scrubbed just because of a compression release. But just a cool video. Just wanted to throw something out there. It's been a little while, usually to me everything's usually good. Just another day. So hope you guys are doing good. Hope everything. And thank you guys for all the support. I mean, I can't believe how many products we're selling, and just thank you so much for that. It sucks to be that busy. It's like a double-edged sword. You just always go, go, go. But at the same point in time, thank you guys so much for that. It's amazing. Thank you. So I'm Paul. This is Paulskarts. Check us out. You can check out the website, which is paulskarts.com. Website paulskarts.com. You can also email me. My email address is paulskarts@gmail.com. paulskarts@gmail.com. You can also text me. You can text me at 781-492-7358. Paul from Paulskarts. Until next time, guys, have a nice day.